Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming to my channel, D versus Debt. This is D, and for today I am giving you an overview of how my $1 investing challenge has been going. So I'll have a look at the month of September. We're going to go back to the end of August though to show you what happened here. So I use CashApp to do my investing. If you haven't used CashApp before, I do have a referral link in my description box that'll give you $5 once you do your first transaction of $5 or more. So this month I focused on my $1 investing challenge, which was to pick a couple of stocks that I wanted to invest $1 a day in. So since there were 30 days in September, I invested in 2 different stocks and bought $30 of each one. Then also, anytime I went anywhere and made a purchase or did a transaction, I would also buy $1 worth of stock in that company. So I learned a lot doing that and it was fun, but as you can see, I also did have a loss. That is actually from my one and only big transaction that I did. So at the end of August, I decided to put one of my tuition payments. So basically, I have a sinking fund for my tuition for this year, and every month I'm paying about $1,000 to my university, and I decided I'm going to use that very last tuition payment that I have socked away and invest it here and see if I can turn it into like a high yield savings account just until that comes due at the end of the year, at the end of the school year. And so what happened there is basically last week happened and the stock market was a little bit crazy. So let me just give you an overview of what that looks like. And here is my activity. So on August 30th, I put that $1,000 down, and so that bought me almost 14 shares. And then I also purchased 31 additional dollars because there were 31 days in August. September 2nd, I invested 30 because there are 30 days in September. And then September 15th, my dividends came in. So the reason for picking this stock is it pays monthly dividends, and I'm trying to build up where it eventually is going to turn into passive income, basically, and I'll have money coming in every month. So that's way down the road. For now, though, I'm just getting that started. And so there was my very first dividend payment right there. It was $3.40. However, as you can see, things got rough. And let me show you what happened over the course of the week and over the course of the month. So because of that, that's why I do show an $84.39 loss. So that was a big ouch. That really kind of bummed me out because, again, this was supposed to be the safe pick. This is the one that has years and years worth of growth and of being good at paying their dividends and all of that. I just happened to start in a bad month with all of this. So for the rest of my investments, I did purchase a couple more REITs, so real estate basically. This one, I did my $31 for August and it went down by 80 cents. The other one just paid me its dividend. So Armor is also another REIT, another real estate one. So that one I invested $30 in for September, and it did go down by 16 cents, but it did pay me a dividend. So let me show you the dividend amount. It's only 27 cents, but what you're supposed to do is reinvest that into the company so that you're owning more shares, which means you get more dividends because you own more. So I'll be reinvesting that little itty bitty dividend and just watch it keep growing. Now the rest of these are the ones that are part of my $1, buy $1 in stock anytime you go to the store. So this first one, Albertsons, there's only one grocery store in my town and it happens to be Safeway, which happens to be owned by Albertsons. So that one, I ended up buying these times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I own 8. I own $8 worth of my grocery store. So that one did all right. I had a 28-cent loss. The next one is the company that owns Burger King. So there is one fast food restaurant in my teeny tiny town, and it happens to be Burger King, and it happens to be about a minute away from me. So that is why you see me going there so often. So in the month of September, I went there 6 times. That's why I invested $6, $1 a pop for each visit, and it went down by 5 cents. So this one is where I go with all my coupons, and every time I go through the drive-thru, I also buy $1 worth through CashApp of the stock. Etsy, I also invested $6 in, because this was when I was doing all my listings for my Etsy shop when I reopened it. So the whole thing about you got to spend money to make money, there were 6 different times where I spent money on Etsy to get my business up and going. So that's where that money came from. And so far I have a loss of 45 cents again, because things were kind of crazy these last couple of weeks. Amazon, anytime I order on Amazon, I buy $1 worth of stock from there. So for the month of September, I ordered 4 times, which makes sense. About once a week, I do order from Amazon. And so that went down 16 cents. Dollar General is the same thing. I went to Dollar General 4 times. Again, I like to go once a week there. It makes perfect sense because every Saturday they have that coupon that I like, the $5 off 25. So there is my investment in Dollar General. This is where I panicked a little bit. The S&P 500, I bought it using the dividend payout from my REIT, the one that paid me $3.40. So I panicked because it was literally day by day just dropping more and more and more and more. So I thought, I'm going to put it somewhere else safe. And so the S&P 500 is basically a safe bet. And so that's why I put it in here. So the $3.40 doesn't count towards the overall amount that I spent for the month of September, because it was a dividend payout. So I just basically put the money right back in. I just happened to put it into a different stock than the stock that gave me the dividend, which is what you're supposed to do, is reinvest in the one that gave you that dividend in order to keep growing it. Dollar Tree, I went there 3 different times this month, and Dollar Tree actually made me money. So I have a gain of 28 cents for Dollar Tree. Right now there's all those people up in arms about the fact that Dollar Tree is going to have items that are more than $1. So Dollar Tree is getting a lot of attention at the moment. So that was $3 worth of Dollar Tree for the month of September. Walmart, I went there a total of 3 times, so that's why I have $3 invested in there, and I lost 17 cents so far. Apple, I have 2 different transactions. So one transaction was when I paid my phone bill because I have an iPhone. The second transaction, so the reason I have $2 invested for the month of September, is I also have a storage plan, and so that gets charged a couple of days, or right after basically my cell phone bill, and so that's why I have a total of $2 invested for the month of September in Apple. Starbucks, I went there a couple of times. One of these dollars was for my giveaway that I had done for last month, and then the other one was for myself, to get myself a nice little Starbucks treat. So that is $2, and so Starbucks went down 7 cents for me recently. Let me see. PayPal, I had 2 PayPal transactions, and so that's why I have the $2 there. So that is a loss of 16 cents for now. And this one, I got creative with it. So I realized, because I've been doing my homework, every time I buy from somewhere, I'm like, ooh, maybe I should invest in that. I can get technical with this. So when I paid my Amazon card, which happens to be Chase, then I also bought $1 worth of Chase stock. So that one went up. I have a gain of 9 cents in that one. Hewlett-Packard, I also got creative with, because I had gone to Staples to purchase ink, and that was the only thing I bought. However, it turns out when I did my little research after I got out of the store, Staples isn't a publicly traded company, so I thought, well, I can't buy their stock, but Hewlett Packard is. So that's why I put the dollar for my dollar challenge investment to them, since I couldn't put it towards Staples. I have my T-Mobile phone bill, so I paid that for the month of September, and that's why there's $1 there invested in them. And the numbers are jumping around. Yum is basically another one that I had to do my homework on. At the beginning of the month, I was craving Taco Bell. I hadn't had Taco Bell in forever. Saw Shai's video. She talked about buying Taco Bell for her daughter, so I had to go around, run out and get some, and that's why I had my $1 there. So as you can see, let me look up the information about the company. When you read more about the company, you can see that the Yum brand covers Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Habit Burger, blah, 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 blah. So that's why I bought that particular stock. And then the last one, Cable One, is from paying my internet bill. So that's who it falls under, and that's why there's $1 here, because that's for the month of September. But I was blown away. This is the most expensive stock out of all the ones that I own. Let me show you the share price. $1,000, 845 cents. Wait, wow, I messed that up. $1,845.13. Wow, that is crazy. That's the price per share. So that is how things went for me in the month of September. These are the ones that I'm scrolling through, are the ones that I own. And then I've also if I hear somebody mention a stock or recommend a stock, I put them here in my following category. So I have, like, for example, Dutch Brothers is opening up nearby in the next town over. So I figure, well, I'm going to end up buying from them at some point or another. I drink Zevia, so that I figure I'm going to be buying stock in. There's a couple of gas stations in town. That's why you see these gas ones right here. There's a lot of realty ones. And again, just some random ones that I heard people recommend. So for example, Figs is scrubs. So I used to work in the medical field, and so I thought, well, it'd be nice to invest in scrubs. I used to love wearing that. Let me see. There used to be people I banked with, like Ally. And there's some local-ish ones. I'm trying to find them here. Let's see. Freeport McMoran. I live in a little tiny mining town, and that's basically the mining company here for the town. There was also another mining one that I just kind of marked, and I don't see it. It's a copper one, and it's based in Mexico, and that's basically like our sister city is a mining town as well, and they mine copper. So things like that. Again, I hear somebody say something and I just kind of put it into my list to look at later. And then there are sentimental ones, like for example, Cricut. I have a Cricut machine, and so I thought, wouldn't it be nice to own at least a little bit of a share for Cricut? So those are the ones that I'm thinking about. For the month of October, there are 31 days. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pick a stock that pays monthly dividends, because again, I'm trying to build that up. This time, instead of focusing on a REIT, I'm going to go ahead and move away from real estate for this month, and I'm going to try something different. So I'm going to stick with an ETF because those are kind of safe bets. And I'm also going to pick one that pays dividends, but it just doesn't happen to pay monthly dividends. It's just going to be one that pays out quarterly dividends. So those are the two that I'm going to be focusing on. And then I'm going to keep on keeping on with my $1 investment challenge, where everywhere I go and spend money, I buy $1 of that company, of the stock. So for the month of September, I spent a total, or I invested a total of $105 altogether with all those different stocks, as well as the dividend. But again, that money didn't come out of my account. It was actually put into my account. I just turned around and reinvested it again. So my goal for October, I'm shooting for the $100 range again, and we'll see how it goes. I will be spending, $31 on one stock, $31 on the other stock, and then I'll see how I do with my $1 investments in each place that I make a purchase at. So I am new to all of this. I am learning. I would love to hear your advice, your tips, suggestions, all of that stuff, because I have so much learning to do when it comes to investing. So I'm looking forward to your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.